I tested positive with a CAT count of 51. So today we're just going to talk a little bit about kind of how we both feel with those results. When people ask me this, honestly, I had to think about it for a minute because I have never felt angry or upset with my siblings about this, but I had to stop and think, and after looking back on it, it totally makes sense in my head kind of how other people would, especially depending on the relationships that you have with your siblings, and probably depending on which one of your parents had Huntington's disease and at what kind of like age you watched them pass away. So like, I lost my mom, I was 16 at the time, and it was kind of like very young, and because we were all in that same situation and we were the only ones who understood that situation, I think we had a really tight, close bond to each other that a lot of siblings didn't have. And I think that because I had already watched somebody go through something, and because the only people that I had to talk to about that were my siblings, I think that the days that they tested negative were probably the happiest days of my life. And honestly, like, I obviously wish that I was negative, but I'm so okay with being positive, because if I had a choice and somebody was like, all right, one of you guys were going to test positive, like, I would pick me every time, because I would rather live in a world where I get sick and die than watch one of my siblings do it, because I just don't know if I could watch somebody I love so much lose so much all over again. So honestly, I didn't feel any type of anger towards them for that at all. But there'll be some moments in my life that I'll kind of feel sad because I don't get to experience certain things, but it's almost more like a happy jealousy than anything else. Like, for example, I told myself I was never going to have kids if I had Huntington's disease, just because I want the cycle to end here, and like, I don't want to have another person go through that. And Talissa has a 2-year-old daughter, and she is like the best mom you'll ever see, and they have like such a good like mother-daughter relationship, and I'm so happy they have that relationship. But I'd be like lying if sometimes it didn't make me sad knowing that I could never have that. But it's more because theirs is so like good and strong, if that makes sense. And she lets me be like so involved, and I'm like the best aunt in the world, and it's kind of a big deal. But yeah, so honestly, I don't feel any anger or any resentment, but I can completely understand somebody who does feel that way. I think it just kind of depends on where you're coming from. I hope this helped answer some questions.